people. Jerome Tang, head basketball coach at Kansas State, joins us as they continue to roll and head into the final weekend of the regular season. Coach, first of all, miss you. We love you. It looks like your team's back to playing like you were early. What changed, or was that just part of the attrition, the schedule of the Big 12?
Well, first of all, thank y'all for having me on. Obviously, I miss and love you guys too. You're doing a great job, covering the Bears down there, and it's fun to follow it. I think, like with anything, you have to make adjustments as you're going through the season. For us, it was cutting down what we did at practice and film, and giving our guys an opportunity to be fresh and have legs. At Oklahoma, after the Texas Tech loss, we probably did too much on a back-to-back road game and just didn't have any energy. There wasn't a lack of will. It was just they had nothing in the tank. And so as a staff, we had to back off what we were doing, simplify things, cut it down, give our guys a chance to be fresh, and it's allowed them to be able to play with more energy and a little more freedom.
One of the great stories about this team, and you know it all too well because you built it, but you had two guys that when you walked in the door that were there. Obviously, that's three short of what you need to play a game. You had to go out and get recruits and transfers and all that. But also you had to build chemistry. And even some of the tightest teams with the nicest guys, it takes a long time. What was the key early on that you guys worked so well together from the jump?
I thought that Marquise Noel and Ish Masood did a great job of connecting all the guys that were coming in. They did a lot of things away from the court, whether it was going to the movies, going bowling. We had a lot of family dinners together that helped. But I think all the time that those guys spent making sure the team was together away from what we were doing basketball-wise really helped them to get to know each other and then develop a care. And they learned each other's stories. And when you know what someone's been through and their why, why they do what they do, why basketball was important to them, or why they want to use basketball to change their lives, whether it's their mom's life or their grandma's life, whoever it is, that they want to use this for. As they understood each other's why, they saw that how in common they had things, and it was easy for them to root for each other.
Coach, did you find it at all difficult at times to balance success, given that it kind of just seems like, it went from, not a program that a lot of people were talking about, then your hire obviously sparked a lot of interest, and then you guys were just on fire. It was like almost automatic, it felt like. Was it hard to balance having success, or was it relatively easy? How did you find that?
Knowing, the success we had at Baylor and understanding that, certain people can handle success and certain people can't. Understand that success is fleeting unless you continue to work and improve. I felt I had a staff and a team of winners, guys who had won state championships in high school. So they understood that this was a constant grind. And so we tried not to get too high and not to get too low, but understand we had to get a little bit better every day. I do believe there was a time there where it flipped, and we went from being the team trying to prove that we were good to being the team that was then others were trying to make a name off of us. Mm-hmm. And we had to learn how to respond to that and how to prepare for that. And so that took a little of an adjustment.
Are you earning a credit at Kansas State in being a band director in the stands? Is that part of it?
Man, I'm not, but I just tell you, I knew that bands worked hard. I would see the bands at Baylor out on the field practicing and everything. But I really dove in a little bit more into seeing what our band does. And I see all the things like when the football team returns from a road game, it's like 1, 2 in the morning. After a win, our band is there to greet them. The night before a game, the Friday night before a football game, our bands have small bands that go around to different restaurants and play the fight song and stuff for the restaurant and the patrons who are there. They do a lot of stuff, but they have a lot of extra work that they put in, and I my heart just went out to them for their hard work and what energy they bring to all the different events that we have. And so I just wanted them to know that I saw them, that I recognized their hard work and greatly appreciate it.
There was a video of you in one of those post-game celebrations, and the girl behind you, one of the students who was in the band, when she saw you run up, and I know you've done it more than once, I mean, that was like, that made her day. Like, that you were there with them, and I'm sure all the other ones felt that way, but it's not like she went and passed out or anything, but she was so thrilled to see you in the middle of all that.
Yeah, it still blows me away that anybody's excited to see me. You know, they want my autograph or any of those, take a picture with me. Like, I'm just blown away by that. But anything I can do, you know, I mean, I try to do for one what I wish I could do for all. And I mean, I'm just thankful for this opportunity, Smoke. It's such a blessing, man. I'm so blessed by God to be where I'm at and doing what I do.
Okay, if they had to recruit you for a Friday night to go around to a restaurant, and while people are eating, play the fight song, what instrument would you be able to pick up the quickest?
Ooh, I'm going to say, now I wish I could say the saxophone, because that's like the sexy instrument, you know, like all the really good, you know, the saxophone. But I think I would probably choose the flute because it's the lightest, right? And I don't know I would be able to pick it up, but yeah, the flute, that's definitely the thing that would get me around there.
As Smokey referenced, I mean, there's been a lot of interactions with the crowd. You guys have really built that up over at Bramlage over the course of the year. I mean, what was that like, just to be able to celebrate another win, but celebrate it on senior night, celebrate it in front of your home crowd, and kind of take all that in, what this journey this first year has been like?
Yeah, well, man, you know, senior night adds an extra pressure, right? Like, even with the great, like, I had decided, like, regardless of what happened in that game, we were going to celebrate our seniors, right? And I had a plan. If we win, this is what we're going to do, and if we lose, this is how I'm going to approach it, right? And but I didn't want to have to go to plan B. And so there's this pressure, like, God, please let us win this game so they can have this great feeling in their last game at home, and that we had played so well at home, and our fans have been so wonderful. I just wanted them, because I've been a part of senior nights where we had to walk off the floor after a loss, you know, and, you know, at Baylor, we always did the prayer, you know, over the whole team. And, you know, it was something very special, but it just leaves a different taste, a different feeling when you don't win that last one. And so I was really nervous about that, just wanting to win the game for our seniors so they had that great feeling. But, man, then to celebrate it with the fans and the guys going up in the stands and doing the Wabash with the students and stuff, that was all really, really, really cool.
Jerome, how hard is it to go through the Big 12 and not have a 2 or 3 game losing streak? Not many seem to be able to go unscathed. Everyone's kind of had their scars, as you could imagine, with such a deep conference.
Yeah, you know, I text Coach Self, congratulations today, you know, winning the conference outright. And he texted me back. He said, yeah, our blowout wins have been 3 points. You know, like, I mean, you know, that's it. You know, like, every game is a grind, and every game is its own entity. And, I mean, every time you turn around, there's somebody who's desperate for a win because, you know, they're coming off back-to-back losses, or there's a team that's hot because they've won 2 in a row. You know, I mean, it's just, man, I've never been, I mean, I've never seen it this deep and this tough. And we just played Oklahoma, and I'm just telling you, they're an NCAA tournament team. They would win a game or 2 in the NCAA tournament. They're really good, man. And, you know, and just, you know, on our way to West Virginia, and, you know, I mean, I think they started 0-5 in conference, and, I mean, now they've won 2 of their last 3, and they have they beat Pittsburgh, who's leading the ACC, or tied in ACC champions, first place in the ACC. They beat them by like 30, you know, and Oklahoma beat Alabama by 30 at the house. You know, it's just our conference. It is really, really tough, and you just can't allow yourself to get too high on any wins, but most importantly, don't get too lows on any losses, because there's no bad losses in this conference.
Is there a sense of relief when you get out of it, even though you're in the NCAA tournament and you're seeing somebody, everybody's out for blood there? I mean, it's win or go home.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a sense of relief just because the intensity of the next game is really amped up. It's like a different – I guess there's a different type of a worry, right? Mm-hmm. You're not so worried about that they know everything you're going to run and, and just all that kind of stuff. But there's a different kind of worry because now it literally could be your last game, right? And it's just – and then every game after that, goes through the roof. And if you're the highest seed, you're, there's worried about the pressure of the upset, and all they show on SportsCenter leading up to it is all the upsets from the tournaments the year before or the 2 years before, So it's different, but it'll be fun to play against somebody else that doesn't know us and hadn't felt, whether it's our physicality or our energy or the speed with which we play with that's going to be nice to do.
You're gearing up for obviously one more regular season game, then the Big 12 tournament, then the NCAA tournament. But, Coach, what's it just been like? I think you kind of touched on it somewhat earlier to just have the relationship that you do with your guys and to be on this journey that you guys have been on, experienced such highs already, and you hope for more, obviously, as you said, is don't get too high, don't get too low. But just personally, what's the journey been like with this group of, your first group of players there in Manhattan?
Yeah, man. I say I have a group of guys that I told our staff in the summertime when we were trying to put the roster together, we were trying to get the right guys. And I said, fellas, let's get guys that we can lose with because you can win with anybody. And I've been on teams, before where you won, but it wasn't as much fun, right? And you want guys that in the midst of losses, they're still going to continue to grind and have each other's back and build each other's up. And I just feel like as good as they've been on the floor, and I tell our fans this, as much as they appreciate what they do on the floor, if they spent time with them off the court, they would love them even more because they're just really, really terrific young men. And, last night, senior night, as they each came walking out, it just started hitting me that these dudes could have gone anywhere in America, and most of them, and they chose to spend this year with us. And, and trust us and be here with us. And I was just moved to tears, man, just with the trust that their family put in us and very thankful that what we told them we were going to try and do that we were able to do together.
Jerome, I don't think I asked you this back early in the year, but with Keontae Johnson, because of what he's been through or what he did go through, did you at Baylor with Isaiah Austin or King McClure, Jared Butler, did any of those scenarios help you understand Keontae Johnson's situation a little bit better?
Oh, very much so. From relationships with doctors that were working with him already to understanding how to help him get back in shape and having done that before and helping him understand the difference between what is his legs, what is his lungs, and what's his heart, as the stuff that he's feeling to, building the relationship between us and the confidence and trust in each other that we were, doing the things that were best for him. And then to the anxiety that the young man felt the first time he played a scrimmage with referees out there, and all the different steps through it. It's really helped having been through what I've been through with those other players and giving him and his family confidence that, at least I had some familiarity with it and an understanding of it.
All right, you said you text Bill Self, which was absolutely classy and not a surprise that you would do that. How often have you, other than playing against Scott, have you guys stayed in touch during the season?
Oh, man, we might talk or text every day, every other day. Coach sent my staff lunch today. That was a congratulations. And so, he's the best, man. He is. They don't get any better. I working with him, I was telling somebody this, I knew I loved him. And, he's like a brother. Being away from him, finding out how much I like him. You know, and that's just and because when you work with someone and coaches like this, you know, when he sometimes he like keep a little distance from you, a little space there, so that he can allows him to do his job, the tough things of his job, whether it's with players or even with staff. And now that we're away from each other, we can we communicate about a lot of different things now, and you just like realize how much you just really like being around that person, you know. And, so that's he's just the best, man.
And so are you. Thank you, Jerome. Appreciate it. So happy for what you guys are doing. And I know you got a lot more you want to accomplish. It's been a hell of a run. And for you to give us time in a busy time like you're in, we do appreciate it and always do.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me on. And, you know, when we're not playing each other, I'm always rooting for the Bears, man. So thank y'all for everything you do. And looking forward to seeing you at the Big 12 tournament.
Yes, sir. That's Jerome Tang, Kansas State men's basketball coach. So how about that, Scott Drew?